Hey, we've had a lot of questions about breaking down numbers. Here's what I'm going to do for you right now. I'm going to show you exactly how you can make $100,000 next year without cold calling at all. Okay, here's what I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over numbers, prospects, skills, sacrifice, schedule. I'm going to go over all the details. Now, this is going to be a more high-level, immediate, quick, 8-10 minute training specifically to help you do this. Now, also, December the 3rd at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'm doing a workshop. I'm doing a workshop on this for several hours. We're doing a several-hour workshop. We're also giving you access to a free course. Normally, this is about a $500 package. For the first 100 people that are on this, we're actually doing it for 37 bucks. Okay, so the link's in the description if you want to be with me and go deep on this topic for several hours, December 3rd at 2, 37 bucks, links below. Okay, so let's talk about how you could do this. You started thinking through how you can make 100K, because I made $117,391.13 at 20. I did this, but I actually had to cold call. Okay, so I'm sharing this because when I did it, I had to pick up the phone, literally pick up the phone nonstop and talk to people that had never heard of me, right? I was literally using practically the phone book that was scrubbed, right? And then I would cold door knock along the way. Now you can do that without having to cold call if you can figure out this, right? What's the numbers of what you need to do? So think about each week, what do you need to accomplish to make this happen? So let's just say that you're selling, let's just say it's 100K. Let's just say you sell, I don't know, we'll make it up, okay? We'll say you sell term life insurance, okay? We get a lot of that, by the way, okay? Let's just say your average sell, you get paid like, I don't know, $700, right? We'll just make it up, okay? So if you look at that and you do the math and you say, okay, right, we're doing it together, okay? $100,000 divided by 700 bucks, okay? It's 142 cells, right? 142 cells. That's people you need to close. Now, when I ask you, when you get in front of somebody or you get on a Zoom with someone, what's your closing rate? You say, it's 50%, okay? I would say that's pretty average. Some of you are a little worse, some of you are a little better. That's where skills comes in, which we'll talk about, okay? So 50%, right? So then that means you need to actually talk to 284 people over the course of a whole year, right? Only 284 over an entire year to hit those numbers, right? So let's go a little bit further, right? Out of 284 that you talk to, how many actually show up? You're like, dude, Cody, about a third no-show me, right? So let's add that, okay? So let's do that math, right? So if you're at 284, right? And you want to get to where you add another third, you need to divide this, I believe, we'll see if I'm right, okay? Divided by 0.67. Yep, that's right. So 423, okay? So now you need 423 people that book with you, because a third are going to no-show you. You're going to talk to this many. You're going to get a closing rate of this many. You're going to sell this many at this amount of money, right? So you need to book 423. So let's divide a book divided by 50 weeks. Let's say you take 2 weeks of vacation, okay? So now you've got to figure out, okay, if that's it, 423, right, divided by 50, that means you need to book eight a week, right? 8.5, okay, 8.46, right? So how do you book 8.46 people per week? Well, you do that by utilizing prospects, right? You need to be utilizing leads, some sort of marketing, or some sort of process to where you can find people to talk to without having to cold call, right? So once you can figure that out, you may say, Cody, it takes me 5 leads. Most of you should be utilizing text, by the way, a lot more text than what you're doing. That would help with this, right? You say, Cody, out of every 5 leads, I will book 1 appointment. Okay, cool. That means to get this, right, that you need about 40 per week of people that actually show interest, right? Well, you're like, dude, these things cost me $9 a piece. Cody, that's $360 a week that I'm spending in leads. Who cares if you're turning this into $2,000 every week, okay? Right? Like if you're turning this into 2K and you take $2,000, we'll round up to 400, you're still getting a 5x return on your investment, right? As I'm building around the workshop that's for 37 bucks on December the 3rd, okay? But what am I showing you? If you gave me $1 and I gave you $5 back, wouldn't you do that? Wouldn't you take advantage of that? Right? If I gave you If you gave me 1 and I gave you 5, okay, I'm curious in comments below how often you would do that, okay? If you knew when you gave me 1, I gave you 5, how many times would you do that transaction? You'd probably do it a lot, by the way, okay? So that's prospects. Skills. You need to be good at knowing what to say. You need to be good at rebuttals. And you need to be good at asking, like for the business and connecting with people. Most people, that's a skill they lack. Most people, I would say 2 things that people struggle with immediately, right? Connection. I'm like John Madden on a whiteboard when I get going crazy, right? You can see all the other stuff I think about 24/7. I'm always using the board. Now I'm using a third of the board today, okay? Dylan's like, we don't have time. Just shoot it, bro. Just start it, okay? 1 is connection. People struggle to connect with people, right? The second is they struggle with how to actually rebuttal objections, right? How to say. We're going to talk about all this, okay, on December 3rd at 2. Again, first 100 people, $37, right? And I'm giving you a free course, okay? Links below. So you think about how to make 100K next year without cold calling. You need certain skills. The question I want you to ask yourself right now is, do you have those skills? Some of you have those skills in your repertoire. Some of you don't. Okay, so skills are important. What do you got to sacrifice? If you're like, well, I got to sacrifice time, I got to sacrifice money, and I got to sacrifice something. Somebody's calling Dylan wanting to buy some insurance right now, okay? Or maybe trying to sell him insurance. Maybe one of you guys trying to sell him insurance, okay? Time, money, or what else? I would say, dude, I got to sacrifice time, I got to sacrifice money, and I got to actually sacrifice like some actual freaking labor. Like I got to actually work, okay? The question is, are you willing to meet that demand? Are you willing to sacrifice time? Are you willing to sacrifice money? Are you willing to sacrifice labor? I don't know, that's a question for you, right? Only you can answer that. So answer that, ask yourself. Also the schedule. Like when I was making 6 figures, because I was going to school in the mornings, and then had practice like early afternoon, and then sometimes I would have games and tournaments on the weekends and in evenings. I had to work literally consistently, a lot of times from like, I could work from like 11 to 2, and then I could work from like 5 to 11. Like I was getting in my 8-9 hours, but I was doing it and I was having to work till 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night a lot of times, right? A lot of you aren't committed to the schedule and aren't willing to do that consistently. So you got to think about what's your schedule look like, right? So when you think about how to make 100K next year without cold calling, I want you to think about what pieces and variables. I want you to be honest with yourself, right? Will you put in the time? Because you got to put in a lot of time to hit this, right? If you're not committed, it won't work, which means you got to actually show up and put in time. Because if this will get you closer to this, some of you worry about spending $37. You're worried about spending money, right? If it gets you the 100K, wouldn't you spend the $37? That's the problem. Most people are scared. The reason you won't spend the money, by the way, and click the link and hit it, is because most people worry about spending the money because you're afraid of getting it back. If that's a limiting belief from you, you will struggle for it. If you love this video, you know I got another one that you're gonna love. I got a video just to your right here. Click on that, it's gonna be amazing. You're gonna love it, and I'll see you there. Which objection do you think agents struggle with the most early in a call? I'm curious what you guys are thinking, by the way, too. You feel free to comment.